Hey, what is going on, my friends? Today we will be talking about how we can get from third dimension, which is where we are right now in space and time, into a fifth dimension of the quantum reality or quantum field, or better said, a field of infinite possibilities. So I received many questions because in my previous videos I was talking how to get in contact with that quantum field and how we can manifest our perfect or our reality, our dreams or whatever we are dreaming about into an existence. So from thoughts to emotions, how we can attract something from the quantum field. And I received many questions, not just how to do it, but how to get on the level of achieving it or experiencing it. Because as long as we are caught in the third dimension, we are caught in thinking and feeling process. And if we are able to understand from where our thoughts are coming from and what our emotions are holding inside, which are why we are stuck here in that thinking and feeling loop, if we are able to understand it, then we are able also to understand how to overcome that loop, how to overcome our emotions and thoughts, how to get beyond the third dimensional reality, beyond our five senses, so we can step into a field of infinite possibilities. Firstly, just to understand that we are not separated from that fifth dimension. We are not separated from the quantum field. It's not possible. We are just the extension of it. We are the extension of the quantum field. Because it can be misleaded if we are looking from the religion, for example. Religion taught us like we need to connect with God. So through the stories, religion started to becoming more like we are separated from God, so we need to prove something to God and things like that. So people started thinking that we are separated from that force which are helping us, if it is even helping us. So then comes spirituality. Spirituality is teaching us, okay, let's draw firstly religion. Religion taught us as there are we and there is God somewhere. We don't know, in the clouds, or we don't know where, because that's why it's so tricky, and that's why most people don't even understand why they are going to church. And then here is a spirituality. So the biggest difference here between religion and spirituality is that people started talking like that. When you love yourself, you are one with God. So what it means? It means that when you love yourself, you are not worrying, you are not in fear, you are not in danger, you are safe. And when you love yourself, you are in your heart. And when you are in your heart, you love yourself. Your heart is shining and you are an incredible creator at that time. So that's the difference. Religion, I don't think it's real that religion wanted to separate God from us, but I think through the process, the stories lose that meaning. So people started thinking, I need to do something to get in a contact with God. But actually everything is happening in us, and if we go into any ancient traditions, how they are practicing communicating with the source or with the God, in each ancient practice, they're actually feeling the feeling. So the prayer to communicate with that source, which now scientists are calling the quantum field or infinite intelligence, the way to communicate with them is to feel the feeling. So if you want to be healthy, feel as you are healthy already. And I will explain why this is that way. So feel the feeling. Everything is in us. The heart is the answer. When you combine your thought with emotion, like I was talking, combine your thought with emotion, you will feel the connection, and that's when your heart will be activated. And when your heart will be active, it will be in communication with that field. You will start communicating with it. And it doesn't mean, let's say quantum field. I'm drawing it just so we can understand it, not that we are separated from it. We are the extension of it. We are the extension of it, okay? We are not separated. We are the extension of the quantum field, 5D, fifth dimension. We are the extension. So we are not communicating with it with words. We are not communicating with thoughts. We are communicating with energy. But what it means, each word holds a different energy. And for example, when we are feeling pain and suffering, those are really low vibrations. And because quantum field will always bring us back the events equal to our vibration, we will always get back what we are sending to it. So if pain or suffering is a low vibration, the opposite of that, or if we are going higher on understanding of it, love, for example, is a really high vibrational frequency. And if we are sending love to it, it will bring us more events which awaken love in us. So that's why it's so important. If we have a clear intention of what we want, and if we bring up emotions of love, we will get more of what we send it as a clear intention, because the quantum field recognizes it as, oh, it is bringing us love, so give him more of it. So this is just how we are communicating with it, but how to get really into it, how to get into the quantum field. As three-dimensional reality is made out of space and time, so we are able to move around, we are able to sense the time. The fifth dimension is the present moment. The fifth dimension is the present moment. So every time when we get present, we are in contact with it. Every time when we are present, we are in contact with the fifth dimension, with the quantum field. So I know from my experiences that the hardest thing in almost in every single day is to become present. Because we say, I am present, but truly we are not, because we are letting our body to be the mind, and we forget. Okay, let's go. I will explain you what it means when our body is the mind and when we are the mind. When our body is the mind, this is important, so we will be able to connect with it. We will be able to step into the quantum field. So when body is the mind, body, mind, our body is the mind when we are in our unconscious programs, which means when we are in daily habits. Habits are the things, the events which we've created or which we've experienced so many times that it becomes so familiar to us that we are able to do them unconsciously. Like sometimes it can be walking, sometimes it's also communicating, sometimes it's brushing teeth, sometimes it's drinking coffee and driving a car and things like that. So that's when our body is the mind. So when our body is the mind, our head is wandering in the past and future. That's why past and future. That's why it's so hard to get into the present moment when we are unconsciously moving through the day, when we are wandering, when we are doing unconscious habits. So what we need to do, we need to overcome our unconscious programs to become the mind. We, or let's say you, as the mind. Maybe it can be hard to understand, but I will simplify it. Our body is the mind when we created unconscious programs. Like I said, that means our thoughts created emotions, emotions are creating thoughts, and that's what I've explained in my previous videos, is creating the state of being. And if the state of being is constantly the same, which means if every day we are thinking the same thoughts and we are feeling the same emotions, we are day by day living unconscious program. Yes, we are still taking some conscious decisions and some conscious actions, but most of the time we are living unconsciously. That's how we are moving through the day. And that's when our body becomes the mind, because we don't need to think anymore what we will do. Our body will take the decisions, and when somebody will say something to you, you will say yeah, okay, and then a few minutes later that same somebody will ask you, have you done it? And you will say, oh, what, I forgot it. That's why we are forgetting so often the things that somebody ordered to us or things like that. But when we become as the mind, we get beyond our body, we get beyond our mind, and we take our power back here. And many times it is really hard to do because we get used to doing every day same things in our life. So when we become as the mind, that means that we start taking orders, what we will do with our body. So for example, when we go into meditation and when we decide, right now I will sit here and I will meditate, our body will start, go rather do something, because it is used to do something. And you as the mind, you will say to your body, right now we will be meditating. And more times you will be practicing staying conscious. You will have control over your body, and more time in a day you will be practicing it. So you will stop and you will become aware, okay, what is happening right now, what I'm thinking right now, how I'm feeling right now. More you will be conscious about that, more present you will become. Okay? Because when you become your mind, when you become a mind, you become present, because you are deciding now consciously what you will do, and you can consciously decide only when you are present. So when you become a mind, you become present. So when you take your life in control, that you become in control of how you're thinking, how you're feeling, what you are doing at this moment, you become present. So then you can decide, okay, now I will meditate and I will not let my body to disturb me. And more you will be practicing it, stronger you will get, so more focus you will be able to hold in the present moment, and more you will be aware of the present moment, more you will be overcoming your stored emotions. Because as we know from before, thoughts are creating emotions and emotions are creating thoughts. So all the memories from our past are there then stored in our emotions, because those emotions are then creating more thoughts, and that's why it's so hard to change. So most of the times which is really, it's sounding really weird, but we are addicted to our emotions because we can't stop that process. But when we take our power back, when we decided, okay, now I will become more conscious of my unconscious habits, I will become more conscious of how I'm thinking and how I'm feeling. So you will sit down in a meditation and you will just be aware of how you're feeling at this moment, what you're thinking at this moment. More you will be practicing it, sooner or later, you will just overcome the stored emotions and your energy will go beyond your heart, beyond your brain, and you will awaken this, how it's called from spirituality, the crown chakra. And at this moment you will awaken so much energy that you will be totally present, and at this moment you will step into the quantum field, and at this moment you will be able to design your reality. And everything will happen really fast, and you will know exactly when it happened, because I've been there and I know that the feeling is incredible. It's just what you're feeling is a pure love and just fulfillment. I was always really, really happy when I was there. And when you get back here into this three-dimensional reality, you look different on life. Not that you are awakened and you are like really powerful and you have superpowers, but you look differently on life because you just overcome yourself, your stored emotions, your memories from your past, and you've just learned that I've trained myself to be present, not to be unconscious anymore, but to be present. So it's a practice. When I received some comments about that you've tried different techniques and nothing is working, it's because we need to find one which fits the best for us, and then we need to practice it. Because to be honest, I was working on it really long time and it never happened on the first try. I was working and studying it really long time. I was reading a lot about science, about quantum physics, about spirituality, also about religion, but still, you know a lot of different practices, but you need to practice it. You need to make it as your daily practice. So when you will create a present moment as a daily practice, this will become your best possible habit you can create. So if the habit is to get into the present moment, this is the best thing you can do in your life, because that's when you will become the creator. Because the energy that I mentioned from stored emotions is the creative energy. It is always, I used to thought that we are walking through different energy fields, but actually the energy is always the same, but the frequency is different. So it's always a creative energy, and when we are able to use it for creation, for creating our life, then our life becomes like a canvas and we are able to design it as we want. So this is the art of living. Then our life becomes like a canvas and we are able to design whatever we want. So I hope this was understandable. It's quite a hard topic to understand, but when we are able to understand it, like I said, we are able to design our life. So we need to learn to become more present, and this is many times the hardest thing to do. So don't worry if it's not working for you yet. Just work on, and it will happen also for you, because I know it will. I know it will. So if you have any questions, just write in the comments below. I will be answering you. And if you have any suggestions for my next video, what you would like to learn next or anything like that, just write in the comments below. I'm sending you all blessings and love. Have a beautiful time.